Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Sophie, and this channel is chronicling my journey of living my best life with multiple chronic health conditions. Today I'm just going to sort of do an update as to how I'm doing, because not a lot's been going on otherwise. I do want to thank the person who emailed me about my thyroid looking larger. Obviously you can't see because I have this mock turtleneck on, but I did have a primary doctor appointment earlier in the week, and she thinks it feels a little larger, which is interesting because when I had my ultrasound in September of 2024, it had actually gotten smaller, where the nodules had gotten smaller, so they weren't recommending us to redo the ultrasound for another 2 years, so in 2026. What we decided to do is do a full thyroid panel looking at TSH, T4, T3, and reverse T3 and sort of go from there. Partly because the only insurance I currently have right now is Medicare, so I am responsible for 20% of the bill, which even if it's not a lot, when you have a very limited income, you just really want to keep all expenses as low as possible. So I have not gotten those labs drawn yet. It's been sort of not the best week for that. I don't want to take it on the day I take my thyroid medication. So I'm going to do the labs on Monday, and then hopefully I'll have them back in a week or so. One of the T3s takes up to almost 2 weeks to come back. So then we'll have information about that and we can sort of make a decision there. I also showed her that I'm bruising, and we're not really sure why that's going on. I don't even know where some of them are coming from. I do know the ones I get on my arms, on my forearms, are likely due to leaning on the desk when I am working on the computer, which, as you can see, I am now reclined, so I don't have to hold my head up. It is definitely much easier, but it makes typing more difficult because my arms are now out and I have to hold them when I'm typing. So not ideal. Need to figure out what to do about that for sure. And then let me bring up my list. Okay, so I was going to talk about sort of how my day-to-day goes and where I get symptoms and what those symptoms are and whatnot. Basically, I am symptomatic doing almost everything. The only things I am not symptomatic doing are if I'm reclined to a certain degree, which this is okay. This is about as far as I can be reclined and still work the keyboard. So this is where I just keep this chair reclined to. And the other way I can not be symptomatic at all is if I'm lying down in a position that my muscles do not have to support the position. So basically I need gravity to be doing all of the work. Right now my feet are outstretched, they are not dangling. I like having them sort of crisscross applesauce, but when I'm reclined, that's not really comfortable. It's uncomfortable in my lower back. So when I'm reclined, my feet are just sort of elevated out in front of me. But other than those two positions, and even this position isn't great. I need to figure something else out. I have some sort of symptom. Normally, if I'm doing something, the symptom will be muscles burning. It's not caused by the lactic acid, but sort of that like feel the burn type of burning I get with doing almost everything, and that includes like holding something. If I were to even carry something under my arm, that takes muscles. Holding, typing, filling water bottles, cooking, chopping, brushing teeth, brushing hair when I used to have hair to brush. All of that would cause my muscles to burn, and they are burning almost instantly these days. They didn't used to burn so quickly, and that has gotten progressively worse. So then after the burning, my heart rate starts elevating because it's trying to bring more oxygen to the muscles, and my heart doesn't know that the muscles aren't using the oxygen correctly. so it's kind of a moot point. But my heart rate, like I said in I believe my previous video, can get really high just doing simple things. It can get up to, when I had hair, like 160. I'm pretty sure it's probably not a resting heart rate right now. Not that I feel out of breath per se, but I just know that it's up there. So my heart rate right now is at like 90, which the app that I'm using the Visible app for the month to see if it was helpful, is considering, now it's 95 because I sat up, is considering that activity. I don't know where the line is between rest and activity, but the line for exertion is 106 or 105, which was my tested anaerobic threshold. Yeah, we're staying up around 98, 97 at the moment. So basically everything causes symptoms. The big thing that is, I don't want to say causing a problem because I'm still doing it, is chewing. So I'm eating a lot of things that need more thorough chewing versus pasta, which, since it's soft, you can kind of get away with a lot of not chewing. And that's been difficult. So I had the dietitian appointments this week as well, and we discussed using like a food processor to sort of turn it into a softer, almost puree, so that I could eat it that way, and then I won't have to chew it, maybe at all, or if I do, not as much, because eating like salads are really hard because there's just a lot of chewing. And then my muscles will burn, and then they just get weaker. My jaw muscles will sort of twitch. It's just not fun. So I actually not only have to think about my swallowing problems as to timing the food and my blood sugar issues when timing the food, but also how much of my jaw muscles I've used in the day to time my food. So I tend to eat softer things later in the day when my jaw is more tired. And then like this morning I had sort of steakums on romaine heart, so kind of like meat in a salad type thing, which was a lot of chewing, and that was the first meal of the day because that's going to be when my jaw is able to tolerate the most. But it's a lot. I'm always symptomatic, and it's just what I have to deal with. It's probably not going to get better. This is probably like as good as I'll get. It will only get worse, not better, is the likelihood. So finding ways to adapt to that as well. And that is the update. I know it's not a lot of an update because nothing's really been going on. I don't really think anything will be going on until I see the mitochondrial specialist at the end of July. I do have a few more video ideas, so I'll work on getting those recorded. But that's all I have for today. Anyway, I hope whenever it is you are seeing this, you are having a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.